Stan, you ever notice Maddle's up at 7:30 a.m. actually being productive?
Yeah. While we're still deciding if eating gummy bears is a mindfulness practice.
But seriously, man, Kindness Rising isn't just a show. It's a full wake-up vibe.
Yeah, man, it's got real get-after-it energy.
So don't hit snooze, people.
Wake up with Kindness Rising, and as always, stay uncommon, stay kind.
Morning. Remember when being a neighbor meant block parties, borrowed lawnmowers, and knowing the mailman by name? Today, most of us are barely waving across the driveway. On this Relationship Thursday, we're asking, what happened to the people in our neighborhood, and why does it matter now more than ever? Wake up. It's time to rise and grind.
This is Kindness Rising.
My foxes and vixens, this is Kindness Rising. When we were kids, we didn't need TED Talks to learn about kindness. We had a little guy known as Mr. Rogers and our friends on Sesame Street teaching us how to be neighbors. Gen X kids grew up learning about the mailman from a puppet and the importance of changing our shoes and our sweater right before our tough conversations. Today, the closest many of us get to neighborly connection is waving from behind a lawnmower or passively aggressively texting about those leaves that are blowing across our property. But the truth is, neighbors matter. Today on Kindness Rising, we're talking about how building small connections close to home can boost your health, your happiness, and your sanity. And we're going to include the top 5 neighborhood buzzkills and 4 microdoses of kindness for when the vibe gets tense on the block. And of course, our buddies, Calder and Stanley, they're going to be here because they're 2 dudes proving that kindness doesn't always come with common sense.
Hey, Stan, I keep forgetting to ask. How are things going with that new neighbor?
Cal, I finally talked to my neighbor.
Stan, yelling, "Can I borrow your lawnmower over the fence?" is not small talk. Hey, it mowed down the tension.
Well, I guess that's one way to trim the hedges and the friendships.
All right. Those 2 zany guys are out there always trying to figure out what's going on in their neighborhood and how to be good neighbors. But Mr. Rogers, you guys remember him. He slowed things down for us and made being more neighborly about empathy, curiosity, and kindness. And do you remember this Sesame Street classic? Oh, who are the people in our neighborhood? In our neighborhood. They taught us to appreciate the mail keeper, the mail carrier, the shopkeeper, and the firefighter, the everyday people who made our communities whole. Those shows weren't just entertainment, they were our first master classes in community. But somewhere along the way, we got too busy, too distracted, or too digital. But reviving the spirit of connection, it isn't just nostalgia. It's actually scientifically linked to longer life, less loneliness, and better mental health. You know this isn't just me getting nostalgic about block parties and Mr. Rogers. Science actually backs this up. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's jump into smoke marijuana with your neighborhoods. All right, Clifford Red, I guess you're into the weed. That's okay too. If that's your thing, it brings you a little closer to your neighbors. TJ Price, welcome into Kindness Rising. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get up and get after it together. We'll help you start your day with a little hope, humanity, humor, and heart. And of course, our buddy Be Driven. Stay buzzy, Be Driven. All right, Bernard. Thanks for joining us here on Kindness Rising. And as I check over into the horizontal, who's there? Our old favorite, Lady Drew Bozier. Lady Drew, how you doing on this Thursday? It's good to see you. You're digging the tunes. Yeah, I whipped a few up today. Checking it out. We use Suno AI here. Going to keep things rolling with new tunes every day. Welcome, Clifford Red. You're new to the community. Join and subscribe. Welcome, DJ Price. You're new to the community. Subscribe to the channel and join us every day, 7:30 a.m. And of course, there's Mike Sullivan from out on the West Coast, up early and up at 'em. Welcome everybody into the Fox Den, my foxes and vixens. Let's keep the show rolling. All right. So we were talking about the science behind communities, the science behind neighborhood. Here's a few little tidbits that will take it to the next level. Researchers say loneliness is as bad for you as smoking a pack a day. Seriously, it can shorten your life just like cigarettes and carrying too much weight. On the flip side, strong relationships can boost your lifespan by almost 50%. That's not a little bump. That's totally decades of life added on. And then there's this Harvard study that followed people for 80 years and found one simple truth. The people most satisfied with their relationships at 50 years old were the healthiest at 80 years old. You got 30 years to get there if you're 50. Keep those relationships going. Be friendly, be neighborly, and get after it every day. Having good neighbors and friends cuts down on stress, it lifts your mood, and even helps your immune system. So waving across the fence, borrowing a tool, or sharing a laugh in the driveway, it's not just feel-good nostalgia. It's medicine. It's medicine for your body, for your brain, and your heart. All right. Let's check in on our buddies Calder and Stanley to see if they have cracked the code on living the kindness rising way. Hey Stan, what is this? Auditions for a new movie? Mission Ridiculous?
Hey, buddy. I joined the Neighborhood Watch.
Staring out your window with binoculars isn't the same thing. It is if you call it community surveillance.
Our neighbors call that a restraining order waiting to happen.
Well, at least you're watching the neighborhood. Better hope they're not watching you back.
All right, welcome back to Kindness Rising. We're getting up and getting it after it with our buddies Calder and Stanley, and all of you out there in the community. Be driven. Thanks for keeping everybody going out there. I appreciate it. Mike Sullivan, I was just thinking this last week, it can shorten one's lifespan. It absolutely can. So keep going there with your neighbors. And Lady Drew, you're giving us a little plug. Thank you so much, Lady Drew. Of course, right here on Kindness Rising, like and subscribe to the channel. I show up 7:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. And then you can jump over to the Mornings in the Lab show and the Mornings in the Lab network. Check out Keith, John, and friends. They have a paywall you can get behind, and trust me, it's worth every penny of your investment. We're doing special education behind the scenes. Keith is showing you how we get it done, and teaching. That's the key. We are about education, information, and entertainment here at the Mornings in the Lab network. Get behind the paywall and check it out. And Keith has a store on his show too. I keep saying I'm going to have a store too, but I'm so focused on trying to deliver content, I haven't gotten to the store yet. But someday maybe I'll make some of these cool t-shirts available, and I hope that you will support it. Thank you so much. So let me ask you a question. How can we revive our Gen X neighborhood values for today? Here's a couple steps that I think we can take together, figure it out, remembering from our times growing up, and help us to become a little bit more neighborly. First, why don't you just channel Mr. Rogers a little bit? Slow it down. Take 60 seconds to greet somebody instead of a half wave. Stop and say, hey, introduce yourself. Bring back that Sesame Street energy. That's your second tip. Celebrate the people in your neighborhood. I love that song. It always goes through my mind. Every time I see the postman go by, a fireman go by, a cop in my neighborhood, whatever it is, who are the people in your neighborhood? Thank the mail carrier, chat with the cashier, or say hi to the UPS driver. And lastly, make it fun, not formal. Invite your neighbors for a driveway beer. We don't really drink much here on the channel, but maybe a soda or a lemonade. put on a game, and even host a vinyl night. Get those jams going. Music is a great way to connect. I heard Lady Drew talking about it. We absolutely connect over music. So get together with your friends and have a good time. All right. As promised, I'm getting you now to those 5 things that really bug neighbors and how we can avoid it. Let's get real. We all want to be the good neighbor, the one people actually wave to, not the ones they roll their eyes at. I know we all have neighbors like that. Oh God, I know. I'm not going to talk bad about people. I don't do it. I don't judge. We all have things going on in life, but I know I've got some neighbors that I'm like, oh God. And the truth is, most of what annoys us isn't really complicated. It's the simple stuff. Since this is a Relationship Thursday, let's put our little kindness rising lens on. Here's the top 5 things that really bug our neighbors. You probably know a few of them. Mind the noise. I've got some noisy neighbors here. I know they're just trying to have some fun, but sometimes they get a little noisy. Back in the 90s, we were blasting Pearl Jam at 2 a.m., and that was our rite of passage. But today, that's a fast track to noise complaint. The jam band rule still applies. Crank it when it matters. Keep it chill when it doesn't. Volume isn't kindness. It's managing your vibes. Second, be trash tidy. You got overflowing garbage cans. Nobody wants a raccoon having a buffet in your street. Gen X grew up with take out the trash as the first chore we all learned, and it's still solid life advice. Lawn pride, not laziness. Remember when dads had lawnmowers, stripes in the grass, perfect edges, that whole suburban arms race thing going on? That energy hasn't disappeared. It just has a little kinder spin. Keep your yard clean, stash that broken furniture away, and maybe throw in a slip and slide for the kids down the block. Not just taking stuff away and cleaning up your neighborhood, but add some things. That's the kindness way. Communicate before construction. That's another big one. We just had some neighbors redoing their driveway. They let us know. They actually let us know. Hey guys, there's going to be some machines in the area. We're getting our driveway done. That was the kind thing to do. If you're firing up a jackhammer or painting the whole house neon green, give somebody a little heads up. It's the jam band philosophy. Set lists in advance so everyone knows what's coming. Nobody likes surprise solos at 7 a.m. And last, here it is. Be a good pet parent. Pets are awesome. We love pets in our neighborhood. We're getting down with the dogs and cats and other furry friends in our neighborhood, but we don't need barking as an encore. Gen X grew up with neighborhood mutts that roamed free. Man, we had the Bumpus dogs for sure. Remember the Bumpuses from Christmas Story? We had the Bumpus dogs. They were just roaming around. Today, it's about balance. Train them, clean them up, maybe let them wear a bandana at the block party. I've got one they can borrow if you need one. So here's the deal. Being a good neighbor isn't rocket science. It's the little acts that keep your street more festival lot and less reality TV drama. Respect the noise. Keep the lawn decent. Mind the trash. Give a heads up and love your pets responsibly. That's how we make sure our neighbors still feel like the places we grew up in. Absolutely. With a little more kindness and a lot less bad karaoke.
Fellas, what the hell have you gotten yourself into this time? This can't be good.
Somebody had to save the neighborhood from bad karaoke.
He yanked the cord out of the speaker.
I call it responsible party management.
Stan, dude, maybe next time try earplugs before sabotage?
Oh, those guys are still trying to figure out their neighborhood. I wonder what the heck's going to happen in the coming days here. Maybe you want to stick around and see how Stan and Calder navigate their neighborhood. And of course, I've got my favorite person in our community joining us right now, Mom, Roseanne Rouff. Remember, Matthew, when something bothers us about another person, it's usually time to look at ourselves, neighbors, loving neighbors. I love that. Certainly people irritate us, our neighbors irritate us, but sometimes we have to think about What is it about that's bugging us? What is it within ourselves that's bugging us? Is it really that bad? I love that advice, Mom. Thanks. You're always there with a kind word and a good piece of advice. All right, let's keep it going. I talked about the 5 annoying things. Now we're going to get into how to deal with the neighborhood drama without being that guy. Oh, trust me, I know about that guy. Every neighborhood has its issues. Barking dogs, mystery trash can, someone mowing their lawn at sunrise like they're a NASCAR pit crew. The question is, how do you handle it without turning into a grumpy neighbor from an 80s sitcom? So here's a little playbook. I hope you guys will think about using these ideas. Mom, you just talked about it. Look within yourself. Let's start with this. Start with humor, not hostility. Instead of, your dog won't shut up, try, hey, your pup's got the lungs of Eddie Vedder. A little humor breaks the ice and gets the points across without offense war. Secondly, let's talk about face-to-face versus passive-aggressive notes. We grew up knocking on doors, not hiding behind our DMs. If there's an issue, grab a chiveway moment and talk it out. It's old school, but it works. Face-to-face always works. Offer a solution, not just a complaint. Instead of, you leave your leaves all over my yard, say, want to split a leaf blower rental this weekend? It's classic Gen X. Find the hack, save a buck, and fix the problem together. Last, I want to tell you this because I know it's true. We've been in our house going on 20 years here. Remember the long game. Those are the people who are going to lend you the jumper cables or your shovel your driveway when you tweak your back. Don't burn the bridge over one bad karaoke night. Being kind about neighborhood issues doesn't mean being a pushover. It means handling it with the same balance we all learned how to balance at concerts. Enjoy the music and be cool to the guy standing next to you.
Hey, Stan, I keep forgetting to ask. How are things going with that new neighbor?
Cal, I finally talked to my neighbor.
Stan, yelling, "Can I borrow your lawnmower over the fence?" is not small talk. Hey, it mowed down the tension.
Well, I guess that's one way to trim the hedges and the friendships.
All right, let's get into today's challenge a little bit. Jumping in back into the comments for a second. We appreciate you here at Kindness Rising, community that we have going on. Lady Drew's over on the horizontal saying, good morning to my mother. You raised a wonderful gentleman. Thank you for it. Well, sometimes I'm a gentleman. Most of the time I'm a gentleman, but sometimes I get a little crazy. All right, cool. Thank you, everybody. Kindness call. This week's challenge is simple. The who's in your neighborhood challenge. I'm going to sing it again because I can't stand it. Oh, who are the people in your neighborhood? In your neighborhood. In your neighborhood. Pick one neighbor you don't know well and make a small connection. Say hello. Strike up a little chat or offer a hand. You see them struggling, doing something in the neighborhood. Take 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever it takes. Just jump in there. Say hello. Be friendly. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. Speaking about being real, being a good neighbor is also great branding. The strongest brands feel approachable, consistent, and trustworthy. The same traits that you want in the guy across the street. That's what we do here at Mornings in the Lab Network. I'm doing it at Kindness Rising. Keith, John, and his buddies over there on Mornings in the Lab are getting after it and being those kind, good neighbors. And we use our EAT philosophy. We eat our breakfast every morning. That stands for experience, expertise, authenticity, trust, and entertainment. It breaks it down to simple personal branding. Experience and expertise, they mean showing up consistently. Authenticity, it means being the same person in person as you are online. Trust, that means keeping your word. If you offer to help a neighbor, show up. If you borrow something from a neighbor, return it. That's how you build trust in your neighborhood. And entertainment, means being memorable. Like the neighbor who always tells the best barbecue stories, it's a little like a festival parking lot. You share food, you swap stories, you look out for each other, even if you don't know their last names. That's our EAT philosophy here at Mornings in the Lab, and we can help you bring it to life. And here's how, and here's why. I'll start with the why, actually. Podcasts are dead. If you're out there creating a podcast or thinking about creating a podcast, it's just going to become noise in a sea of garbage that's out there on podcasts. You want to create a live show in order to bring your best self forward, to show your personal brand, to show authenticity, trust, and authority. We can help you do it right here on Mornings in the Lab Network. Matt Rouff, the Uncommon Kindness Guy. I'm out on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. Reach out to me. Let me know. I can help you get your own 30-minute show just like we do here at Kindness Rising. We can also help you with our down and dirty ad packs. If you're not into a 30-minute show, but you want to rise above the noise with a little bit of creativity and a little bit of the intersection of man and machine, we've got amazing tools that we can build to bring your personality to life. Maybe you want to interact with Calder and Stan right here on Kindness Rising. Or maybe we'll weave you right in with Frankie and Tommy over at Mornings in the Lab. Interact with Keith and I. Make it entertaining. Make it interesting. This is Attention Media we're working on, and we can help you grow your personal brand and your business with our down and dirty ad packs. And lastly, last little pitch here, sponsors. If you really want to have consistency, we show up here every Monday through Friday. I'm here at 7:30 a.m. Keith's over at Mornings in the Lab at 8 a.m., showing up every day consistently. You want several hours of exposure for your business. You want your business woven into our vibe. We can help you do it through sponsorship. Reach out to me, Matthew Rouff, the Uncommon Kindness Guy. I'm all over the place. Reach out to Keith Billis. We'll help you get up and get after it. And remember, you're part of our community. When you join our community, just like Jay from Glasgow is doing right now. What's up, Jay? Good to see you out in Scotland. I've never been there. My wife has, but I hear it's amazing. Yeah, welcome, Jay. If you want your own show, reach out to me. Let me know. If you want to sponsor the show, reach out. Let me know. We'll get you the exposure that you deserve. And if you've got something going on in your life, you're part of our community, tell us about it. We'll be glad to help you promote your business, glad to help talk about all the positive and kind things that you guys are doing out there in the world, because podcasts are dead. Live shows are where it's at. Join us here on the Mornings in the Lab Network.
Welcome to episode 1 of Motivation with Dave.
Congrats, Dave. Your podcast number 5,764,999 and still invisible.
Dave, nobody wants another podcast. Go live.
Going live was the best decision I ever made. True motherfucking story.
All right. Listen, being neighborly isn't just about community. It's also about resilience. When you know the people around you, you've got a safety net. Someone to check in on you when life gets heavy. Someone to shovel your driveway when you're laid up. The web of small connections. They make us stronger. They make us more resilient and more prepared for the unexpected. So today on Kindness Rise, on Mornings in the Lab, when Keith starts talking about building mental muscle and resilience, it's connected to what we're doing right here. Remember, it's not just about what you can do alone. It's about having a neighborhood, literal or figurative, that lifts you when you're tired and steadies you when you're stumbling. Get over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends over on the Mornings in the Lab channel. Get behind the paywall with them. Have a little fun with us here on Kindness Rising and over at Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. We're getting up every day, getting after it, and bringing it to you too. Jump back into the comments real quick. All right, Tucker's here. I don't know Salam alaikum, bro. I don't know what that means. Maybe you can translate it to English for us. Sorry, I don't know your language. We welcome everyone here in our community from all around the world. We want you here in the Kindness Rising studio and in the lab right here in the Fox's Den too. Michael, oh, that's global. Michael, you're jumping in. We appreciate you. Stanley means stony meadow. Calder's name means meadow with water flowing. The two friends are drought and downpour opposites. That's brilliant, Michael. Do you know I had no idea that was true? Does anybody else out there have any insight as to why I named these guys Calder and Stanley? Any insight? Any thoughts? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'll tell you, it's related to one of my all-time favorite things in the world, all-time favorite stuff that's coming right up here in October, and you're going to hear more about it. I hope there are people out there who really like it. Michael, nope, it's not family name. Nope. Grateful Dead, another good guess. Not true. I am a Grateful Dead guy. X-Files, Be Driven. I like that. Yeah. Like Mulder and Scully, Calder and Stanley. Still not it. Talking about word code. I love this conversation. These are great guesses. Lady Drew, you want a Fox t-shirt? I want you to have one too. I'm going to figure out how to get you one. I really am. It might not happen in the time frame that we want it to, but I promise you it's going to happen, Lady Drew. Please trust me that it's going to happen. I appreciate that you're out there. All right, I gave you a few minutes to think about it. Actually, Calder and Stanley come from the world of hockey. Ice hockey is one of my favorite things. The sport, my favorite sport, it's coming up. The Stanley Cup, that's the trophy that's given to the champion in the National Hockey League. And the Calder Cup, that is the trophy that is given to the champions in the American Hockey League, which is the first minor league hockey underneath the NHL. We've had AHL teams here in Binghamton. We don't have one right now, but we're hoping to get one back soon. Calder and Stanley, inspired by my love of hockey. I love those names. And we learned a little something from Michael today about Stanley and about Calder. I think that was cool. A little bit of research. I appreciate you jumping in there. But if you're into hockey, you're going to be hearing more about it. I'm going to be weaving into it. I bet you Calder and Stanley are going to visit an NHL game sometime along the way. I know I am. It's the best sport, and I'll talk about that later. That's not what we're here for today. We are here because we get up every morning. We rise and kind every day here on Kindness Rising. Mr. Rogers at Sesame Street, they had it right. The people in your neighborhood aren't just characters. They're your support system. As adults, it's too easy to forget that lesson. But every wave, every borrowed tool, every driveway, beer, soda, lemonade, stitches us back into the kind neighborhood that makes us feel a little less lonely. At the end of the day, the best neighborhood isn't the one with the neatest lawns. It's the one where you can still borrow a cup of sugar and maybe return it as a six-pack or something else. If resilience really does start at home, let's be honest, it probably starts with the neighbor who owns the snowblower. I've got a neighbor here who always helps us out the first snow of the year. I'm ready for it, but I can count on him. He always shows up. Just like we do here, always showing up. I'm Kindness Rising, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. I'll be back tomorrow with our Fandom Friday. Gen X grew up on chasing mysteries. From flipping through Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew books at the book fair to watching the Bloodhound Gang crack cases on PBS and all the way over to Saturday morning cartoons with Scooby-Doo and Josie and the Pussycats. Later on, we snuck into the undercover world of 21 Jump Street and Veronica Mars. Solving mysteries has always been part of our story. So tomorrow on Fandom Friday, we'll pull on that thread a little bit and see why we never stop loving a good whodunit. And of course, Calder and Stan are going to be here. They're the reckless little puppets to my Mr. Rogers. Maybe by then they'll figure out how to be good neighbors. I doubt it. Join me tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. live on Kindness Rising to see what happens next. Until then, as we always say, stay uncommon and stay kind.
Stan, you ever notice Maddle's up at 7:30 a.m. actually being productive?
While we're still deciding if eating gummy bears is a mindfulness practice.
But seriously, man, Kindness Rising isn't just a show. It's a full wake-up vibe.
Yeah, man, it's got real get-after-it energy.
So don't hit snooze, people.
Wake up with Kindness Rising, and as always, stay uncommon, stay kind.